My name is Ifyefobi.
My name is Jessica. We will be talking about ecology and ecosystems. A current event that we found was an article that talks about the impact COVID-19 had on people all around the world. According to the article, in the early months of the crisis, tens of millions of people lost their jobs. Unemployment remained high until substantial relief measures became available. These measures helped reduce the very high levels of unemployment. Near the end of 2021, 20 million households had reported that they did not have enough food to eat and were behind on rent. The federal government, states, and localities took extraordinary steps that helped many people who were unemployed. The enactment of the American Rescue Plan Act on March 11, 2021 helped bring down the hardships rates by a lot. This act included 1,400 payments for most Americans and other struggling households as well. The federal government also issued monthly payments of the expanded child tax credit on July 15, 2021, along with improvements in food assistance. Another poll survey conducted in October 2021 found that nearly 20 million adults lived in households that did not have enough food to eat, and 12 million adult renters were behind on rent. This survey also found that the economic fallout had remained prevalent among Black people, Latino people, and other people of color. Millions of people were out of work and struggled to afford adequate food and pay their rent through 2021. Data from the Census Bureau's Household Pulse Survey and other sources show this. In the fall of 2021, according to Pulse data, food hardship among adults with children improved significantly following the issuance of the first monthly child tax credit payments that were up to $300 monthly per child on July 15, 2021. Adults in households with children were likely to report that the households didn't have enough food to eat, and 12% compared to 8% for households without children. Black and Latino adults were more than twice as likely as white adults to report that their households did not have enough food to eat. Following the December 2020 relief package, and the rescue plan included over $46 billion in emergency rental assistance designed to help people struggling to pay their rent and avoid eviction. The households poll surveys that was later conducted provide data on the number of adults struggling to cover usual household expenses such as food, rent or mortgage, car payments, medical expenses, or student loans. In 2021, the share of adults with trouble covering their expenses stabilized as employment rose and aid from the December 2020 relief package. This package included benefits and another round of stimulus payments to people who were unemployed.
Ecology focuses on the interactions of living things in relation to their environment. With human ecology specifically, we are looking at humans in relation to their environment. What this article was able to show us is how everything is deeply interwoven and interconnected in our society. When the COVID-19 pandemic began, it had an amazing breeding ground to grow and thrive and spread throughout the world. We have many large, bustling population centers, and in this globalized world, we can travel all the way across the globe in less than 24 hours. Our societal norms encourage close contact and minimal personal space. Many diseases could thrive in an environment like that. Pandemics that in the past would have been localized to just a small town, country, or continent can now affect the entire world in a much faster way. Despite all the advances in our technology, we did not anticipate enough for the destruction that COVID-19 would bring. The pandemic has destroyed the lives of many people and made it insanely difficult for our most vulnerable populations to continue living. By studying our social ecological systems, we can see that we struggled greatly to preserve the well-being of a great portion of our own population. And even years after the pandemic had begun, it is still having immense domino-like effects on people. What we can see based on the article is how physiological illnesses can affect things like how our society works as a whole. Infectious diseases means that people are unable to go into work. They can't go outside, which means that they won't spend money. This in turn affects our economy. People losing their jobs, they're not making as much money. This causes immense financial burden. When people can't pay rent, they face eviction. They get kicked out of their homes. When you no longer have a safe place to stay, you become much more vulnerable to physical ailments and disease, thus continuing a vicious feedback loop. The article we just looked at shows how true that is and proves how realistic this connection is. It proves how complex and ever-changing the study of human ecology is. One thing connects to another, and it's all connected together.